Jetix!
Belongs to you. We're going to the world of Jetix. The world of Jetix. A magic adventure to somewhere new.
What the fuck, Dan? Covering a TV network instead of a video game? I thought this was G4. Yeah, well, sit down and shut the fuck up. Allow me to explain. My name is Dan, and welcome to G4EVER. Today we're talking about Jetix's failed attempt at copying G4. PXG. Before we can do all of that, though, we should probably give a lot of context, because given our audience, they probably don't even know what the fuck Jetix is. It all starts in 2004, when Fox sold Fox Family Channel worldwide and Fox Kids worldwide. Disney swooped in without any question or second thought and bought both of them, which resulted in the transition between Fox Family to ABC Family and Fox Kids into Jetix. Jetix started off on ABC Family around Saturdays and Sundays, but would later be pushed onto weeknights over on Toon Disney Channel because, What? Yeah, they weren't doing so hot. However, Jetix would continue to fight the good fight for a few years, between 2005 all the way to 2009, last instance in 2010, after corporate management at Disney decided to buy out the rest of Jetix's stock from around the world and turn it globally into Disney XD, otherwise known as the television's version of the PS3. No games, no shows. If they had shows, they were probably cancelled 1 or 3 seasons later. Jetix tried desperately to compete with the likes of Toonami, but failed miserably. I mean, what the fuck were you expecting when you were fighting against a channel that had Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, fucking Gundam Wing? Like, you were expecting to win? You had Digimon. Like, come on. Lower your standards. However, rather than fail miserably before Toonami ended on Cartoon Network, they lasted just 1 year longer before turning into Disney XD. They also had Naruto Shippuden. Glad to see the curse was spreading outside of Cartoon Network's reach. However, the overall history of Jetix in the US does not matter. PXG actually aired in all of Europe, the UK included. And if there's someone I know out there that knows a lot more about the UK version of Jetix, it's probably this guy, Alan Pussy, who created IOX. He probably knows a lot more about Jetix than I do, because all I know is that it's more than a network over there. I'm gonna let him do the rest of the talking for this part. Take it away, Alan.
Jetix was a lot more than just some cable channel on Yale Telewest and some satellite channel on Sky. It felt more like a brand built for those wanting to be adventurous, and given the many past attempts at making anime networks, well, failing, Jetix was a surprising one that stuck around a bit longer. Jetix was essentially a somewhat moderately sized fourth titan to the already established Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel, even if the latter owned Jetix, but that's beside the point. Point is, Jetix was willing to experiment. It had a magazine, it had strong international appeal, and it even made a gaming show?
Hey, why does this one look so familiar? That'd probably be why. Okay, jokes aside though, PXG was a widely forgotten show on Jetix. It was something that people remembered in the time that it was airing, just like Jetix itself, but later on people would just end up forgetting. PXG would run in a weekly schedule, Saturdays and Sundays excluded. Each segment would depend on the day, and between seasons 1 and 2, the days would differ on segments. Some segments being just cool game reviews, some were more game show-like with some gross out humor, which I'm going to spare you from, and some of them were just basically early previews of new games or just top 5s. Think X-Play, but not on a network where you're able to get away with a lot more, because you're airing a video game review show on a kids network. Bad idea. Now, what does PXG look like? Well, let me show you.
Konnichiwa, Jetix gamers! I am Kentaro from the land of the rising sun, and this is PXG! It's fresh like sushi!
If this isn't a racist stereotype of the Japanese, then I don't know what is. PXG was actually an acronym too. I should have really mentioned this at the start, but since the show's unscripted and just my thoughts, I figured, fuck it, let's do this. PXG actually means PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube, which were 3 of the most popular consoles in the UK at the time of the show being on air. Rip to the Dreamcast. But just like the Dreamcast, the show was quite forgettable. If I were to tell you how popular it is, the fact that it's lost media should really tell you something about how popular PXG was. Not to mention, the program lasted up until 2008. Abruptly, a year before, Jetix would go off the air and be replaced with Disney XD, who, in turn, would actually try and do better than just video games. Disney XD had a lot more campaigns, though, to get kids out playing instead of playing, like, video games. In the UK, they did a lot more outside campaigns to get kids interested in the network, like a beach soccer competition, a diversity dance-off, and a bunch more outdoor activities. Yet at the same time, though, despite XD doing all of that, Jetix was a lot more fondly remembered. PXG was something that was remembered at the time, yet a lot of people simply forgot. And yeah, there were probably some good reasons as to why people forgot about PXG. I mean, there's a segment called Project Rub. And if that got your brain clicking gears, it's about rubbing on kids' television.
You know, for kids!
Despite all that and PXG being forgotten, Disney would try again at reviewing video games and having video game related television. This being years after the demise of G4TV, so it isn't exactly a clone, but it was definitely an idea during the time point in which G4 was alive. But why would Disney want to copy something that's quite literally like
God, kill me! I shouldn't exist!
Hey Doc, how can I be like that? Wait, Disney XD, what the fuck? You heard me, Doc. Give me a video game block. I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen. But alas, that will be a story for another humiliating, embarrassing day. Wow, it's like Disney just doesn't know how to stop fucking up. My name is Dan, this has been G4EVER. Finally, an episode that isn't a game review. And as always, keep on playing. Shebang.